Hi, my name is Kim. I'm an MPH candidate at the University of Nevada, Reno, and I did a field studies work with Awaken. Just want to acknowledge my preceptor, Dr. Pearson, and my field studies coordinator. So Awaken really is trying to transform communities and prevent and provide resources for primarily women, but also individuals who are involved in commercial sexual exploitation, or CSE. These are the services that the organization provides. They're robust, so outreach, legal aid, they provide resources at their drop-in center, they do advocacy, they have programs for both youth and adults. So this is kind of more or less what they do. So the major deliverables involved with this project were to kind of help with the implementation of a newly developed 2020 strategic plan that Awaken had created, evaluate internal communication, and provide a document of the best practices in working with survivors of sex trafficking. These are some kind of highlights of the 2026 where we're headed aspect of the strategic plan, and commercial sexual exploitation is noted as CSE here. So these are kind of some core strategies involved with the strategic plan. This was primarily some things that were takeaways for me as a part of the kind of best practices in working with the population. So I evaluated internal communication among staff at Awaken. This ended up becoming a survey of employees at Awaken. So really focused on leadership, collaboration, communication, and kind of ways to improve the organization as a whole. So there were 7 Likert scale questions, 2 open-ended, and 1 select all apply question. This was one survey question and the results of it. So as you can see here, a majority of folks feel like programs are a little disjointed or disconnected. 68% of staff members responded to the survey. 80% of respondents agree or strongly agree that Awaken is doing well to foster teamwork and collaboration. And 87% of Awaken leadership values the work that employees do and believe they're a part of the decision-making process. So things that the survey really showed that Awaken is doing well. Here's some more results of the survey. So I just am going to read here that the 27% of employee respondents indicated communication from other Awaken programs beyond their role is strong and helps them feel connected. So again, going back to that initial question I showed you, there was some disconnectedness. And this was some results from the open-ended questions, as well as kind of other results from the survey. So survivor input in both youth and young adult programs is required, and strategy and programming meetings between adult and youth programs monthly for case managers and leadership can help improve the organization. So these are the survey takeaways. So establishing a monthly strategy and programming meeting to bridge gaps between youth and young adult programs, establishing an email response time policy, having an annual team building event, and continuing using email, face-to-face group meetings, and one-on-one meetings as primary forms of communication. So in my deliverable related to the best practices with working with the population, it was focused on kind of 2 aspects. So some kind of outreach that I did with other organizations very similar to Awaken, as well as research and online information that I found. So these are the paper contents. There was also some training resources for Awaken that could be useful. So this is Awaken already knew this, but really a person-centered approach is necessary in working with individuals who are either involved in commercial sexual exploitation or are recovering or trying to get out of the life. The key priority areas are really having a robust services, so counseling, case management, legal services. This could mean, helping with a child and family services case that maybe somebody has, or criminal charges from sexual prostitution. Um, Housing, so having a housing first or transitional housing model, and then having educational and employment resources and ways to improve can really help with financial viability. And up in the top right corner, there's a logo here. And I found a national advocacy credentialing program that is something that Awaken may consider in helping with training employees. That was one thing that was found in their internal survey, was that I think about 70% felt that they had enough training. So in looking to kind of either improve training or provide training, there's a credentialing program for advocacy. And this one had training modules related to working with survivors of domestic violence, survivors who have, sexual exploitation consequences, and these kind of this unique population. So this is a resource I found. Here are my references. Thank you so much for your time.